30 male slash 31 female. Having the in-laws living with us is destroying my relationship with my wife. My wife and I have been married for about 1.5 years now. She comes from a culture where the family always comes first, and she puts it, parents are treated like gods. About 3 months ago, her parents, my in laws, came to stay with us. Ostensibly, it is a temporary visit, but they've been here for 3 months with no return date in sight and no return plane tickets booked. This only is causing friction. I am an introvert by nature, and thus, having anyone around for 3 plus months, regardless if they are my in laws or my own parents, drains me a quite bit. Especially since there's no defined end date in sight. We don't speak the same language, so I can communicate with my in laws, and anytime my wife is out of the house and it's just me plus the in laws, the situation feels extremely awkward. My wife is also a student currently, and so we are one income household dependent on my job, except now the mouths to feed have doubled. Furthermore, I don't have issues with my mother in law so much, but my father in law is a completely different story. First of all, my father in law has cheated on my mother in law numerous times. I understand this has no impact slash effect on me and should really be one of my concern. But regardless, I have a low opinion of people who cheat on their spouses. My father in law does nothing to help around the house. He never washes the dishes. In fact, he just leaves his dirty plates at the table after we eat until my wife, my mother in law, or myself pick up after him. He sits around the couch all day watching YouTube videos on his phone. He never cooks. He never cleans. He doesn't help out with the yard work even though he said he would when they first came here. He doesn't pay for any of the grocery bills. I wouldn't mind nor expect the guests to help with household chores if they were staying for a week or two. But at 3 plus months, they are no longer guests in my opinion. They are member of the household and expected to chip in. My father-in-law is Muslim and doesn't tolerate pork, but he cheats and drinks. I won't bother going into the hypocrisy there or selectively choosing which rules from your religion you like to follow, to the point where he won't even let us eat pork or have pork products in the house. Otherwise, he'll get upset and angry. Now, I don't give a shit about pork. Do I like eating bacon for Sunday breakfast every now and then? Yeah, but it's not a deal breaker. It's more about the principle of the matter. It grates on me that this man, who is our guest, and whom we are literally providing everything for, has the gall to tell me how to live in my house. I have asked my wife numerous times, because of the language barrier I can't communicate with father-in-law, to ask her father to help around the house or change his attitude. Her response is that in her culture, the father is treated like a king, and she cannot ask him to change any of this. He would get too angry, and she doesn't want to cause any trouble. I've also asked her if she can ask when they are flying home, and if they're going to be here longer than 3 months. If they can help pay for some of the household expenses. Again, her explanations were I can't ask them when they are leaving because that would be chasing them away. And I can't ask them to pay for house expenses because they raised me and provided everything. It's not fair to ask them to pay for anything. Last night, my wife and I got into an argument slash crying session, and to be honest, neither of us know how to fix this. She feels stuck in the middle due to her loyalty and obligations to her parents while trying to support me. On my side, I have issues due to all of the reasons mentioned above. This is destroying our relationship, and I don't know how we can make it work for another 3 months, or heaven forbid. If someday they decide to move in with us permanently, my wife has already said if they want to move in with us, she would have to accommodate them. Any advice or personal experiences would be appreciated. This is killing me, and it kills me to see how much stress my wife is going through also.
This happens quite a lot. In some cultures, the parents have so much influence over their children that when they get married, it causes a lot of fear and insecurity. Testing their children's boundaries by demanding unreasonable things or doing things exactly like this is a common way they try to figure out where the married child's loyalty lay. Loyalty and respect is a big deal in this culture. But here's the thing, the current mandates that children always show kindness and respect to their parents, yet it does not mandate obedience. There's a lot of resources out there on this exact issue. If you decide to be firm and leave or kick them out, let your wife know so she can have a chance to choose to be united with you once the decision is no longer up to her. I'm guessing you're a non-Muslim. They probably don't approve of their daughter's marriage to you. They could be doing this on purpose just to throw a wedge between you and your wife and then reclaim their daughter. There's nothing you can do unless your wife decides to fight for you. You may have to consider either moving out or kicking them out together with their daughter. They won't give in unless your wife fights for you. Did she know they were gonna do this before they came to visit? This is her responsibility. I think your relationship is doomed either way. Cultural differences are major things that need to be addressed before a legal commitment. This is hard. I think your wife knew they were coming to stay for a long time. Are they from your country? Do they have a visa? If they are from your country, it seems like they have moved in. Depending on the state, they may be considered residents, and you'd have to legally evict them. I would use Google Translate or find someone who can translate a letter for you, and just tell them this is your house, they need to help or get out. I am sorry OP, but they have moved in, this isn't a visit. It is very likely your wife was aware this was the plan and used visit as a way to ease you into the change. You will have to decide if this is the life you want, if their relationship is one you want modeled or enforced on your own children, if you want to be ordered and dictated to within your home for decades on end. If it isn't, then you will need to consider divorce. I knew it. I knew it was a Muslim family before you even mentioned it. This is pretty common in Muslim households, and the mindsets are pretty messed up. The father is always treated like the king, and all the women have to serve the men. I'm a Muslim myself, but I would never marry a Muslim man, because I know how they treat their women, not all, and trust me, Muslim families have strict rules especially for women. The men on the other hand are big hypocrites, not all but so many. They like to control women and sometimes treat them like subhumans, but they go out and do all the forbidden things like drink, smoke and eat pork simply because they are men. They also use religion to their advantage. Many Muslim families have pretty traditional and conservative mindsets. Think about the times, like the 1960s, where women couldn't do much, and everything had to involve men, cause a lot of Muslim families still stick with rules from the Quran from the 7th century, that are old and traditional. As a Muslim, we are taught that family is everything, and you must obey your parents no matter what. You must also understand that as a Muslim you are told that a man is responsible for his family including his in-laws, and you must also take care of them, and obey them too. It is also common for Muslims' families inviting themselves over to stay with another family, because family is everything. I don't know if you know this already, but welcome to the life of a Muslim family where you are taught that disobeying your parents would mean burning in hell for eternity.